Come install some recessed lights with me today. We're taking this living room from this to this. But first, we have to say hi to the bestest boy ever. I start by measuring the distance from the wall and marking 2 points where I will be adding my laser to make sure that my lines are perfectly straight. At this point, I'm measuring the distance from the adjacent wall, and this will be my final marking points for the lights. Today I'm going to be installing 6-inch recessed halo lights, and I'm going to be using this 6-inch drill bit. You want to make sure that the drill bit aligns with the marked spot, and then you start the boring process. Boring a hole with a 6-inch bit is very dangerous, and you want to make sure that you take your time, you drill at an angle, and you just let the bit do its job. Many times what happens is the bit locks while taking material, and it can actually sprain your wrist. Using my multi-tool to cut a box in order to put in my 3-gang electrical box. I'm actually going to be moving that switch on the left side into that box and going up into the creepy attic. You never know what you're going to find. I located where I'm going to be pushing my wire into, and I start drilling a hole in every joist all the way to the other side in order for me to carry my electrical cable over. I didn't show this part, but I had already moved the cable all the way from the basement up into the attic space, and here I'm feeding the cable in through the holes all the way to the other side where I'm going to be feeding it down into the wall. I'm pulling out 2 cables. I fed in the main cable of my power line and another cable where I'm going to feed into the first recessed lighting. Here I'm removing the switch and moving it over to the gang and feeding all my cables into the 3-gang box. Here I am degloving my wires and exposing them and crimping the tips in order to start the connection to the switch. The 2 neutral or the white wires will be connected together. They're going to be capped off and put aside, and then the 2 black wires are going to be connected into the screws in the switch. We're also going to be braiding the neutral wires together and capping them off with a neutral wire cap. The remainder of the cable is going to be screwed into the grounding wire screw. You want to make sure that you also add electrical tape around the switch. A lot of people miss this step, but it's very important. Here I'm making the secondary connection for the switch that's going to be controlling the recessed lightings. The box comes pre-assembled with push-in connectors, and I add the knockout hole plugs. This allows for, once the Romex cable goes in, it doesn't slide out. I de-sleeve all the cables and I crimp them, and just connect them to each color. I push them into the little holes there, and all of them are the same color: black with black, white with white, and ground with ground. I tuck the cables into the box and I tape it, and I set the warmth of the lights and install everything into the hole, and this is the final product: 6 recessed lights. How did we do?